Hey, hello, my Redskin fans. Welcome back once again, my fellow feathered tribesmen, into this channel where we discuss everything Washington Redskins. Anyways, wanted to put out a video. It's been a long time since I've put one out. I have been busy as hell, working my ass off. I've been on the road. In fact, I'm on the road right now. I'm actually sitting in my hotel room, sitting here in the wonderful world of Seattle, grinding, man, just trying to get paid, as though a lot of you, I'm pretty sure, are doing as well. But it took me a long time to really decide whether I wanted to start coming out with videos this year. It's getting harder and harder to want to come out with videos, especially when you see the team take the direction that it's taking. There's been a lot of things I've had opinions on, but I have to admit, even I get sick and tired of hearing myself say the same things over and over and over again. I almost came out with a video in regards to Trent Williams. I'm very opinionated about that, but there's a rumor he may be coming back. Hopefully he will. I don't know if you guys really noticed that in this week one game. They really pushed that narrative. They said it at least 3 times during this telecast that they had it on good authority that he may be back this week. Well, we'll see. I'll trust that as soon as I see him in burgundy and gold on Sunday, where he belongs. But as of right now, where BFG stands on that, I'm pretty much going to count him as playing for a different team from here on out. It's just a matter of what we can get for him. Anyways, hopefully you guys haven't missed me too much. I know there's some of you that really look forward to my videos, and I apologize for not coming out with them before. I do not have a whole lot of time on my hands anymore. I'm trying to find ways to broadcast on the road. The quality of my videos is going to be suffering because of it, but at the end of the day, I think what really matters is the opinions that I have that some of you guys actually tend to enjoy, especially when it comes to post-game analysis, which I really want to continue. So let's get rolling right into week one. I'll try and make this as short and as sweet as possible, and I try to be putting out videos every Tuesday or Wednesday to kind of give you my opinion. I did not have a chance to really study film on this game. One of the great things about being able to broadcast from home is I had a hell of a setup at home. It is a lot easier for me to sit back and watch film and to see things the way that I want to see them with the gear that I have at home, and being able to have the dual monitors up and the statistics and all the analysis things that I normally need and use and utilize when it comes to studying film, so that I can portray that onto my videos. But I don't have that. I have an iPad. A fairly new iPad, which I'm using right now. As you can see, I've bought a couple things for to help me broadcast these videos to you guys. But unfortunately, being able to watch film on the road's a little bit more difficult than what I had previously found out. It wasn't until week one. I watched a little bit of preseason football, but those of you that know me know I don't put a whole lot of stock in preseason football. I never have. And it's a good thing, too, because this last off-season has been kind of interesting. I don't necessarily think it's a good depiction on how we're going to stand with this football team in 2019. Now, the interesting thing about this team is that week one, we did a lot better than I thought we were going to do. I predicted us to have a lot more problems on offense than what we actually had. And our defense actually... I think our defense actually did as well as I felt that they were going to do. I don't think we've seen the full extent of this defense, and mind you, it did not help having our best defensive player go out very early in this football game. I think that if there was a decision to keep him off the field as opposed to playing him, then I support that decision, because he did not come back in. Jonathan Allen did not come back into the game, and it's probably a decision that I support, because it's just a week one. We got a lot more games for him to make a difference in. So why bring him back when we're obviously sucking it up out there? This is a division rival, and this division rival knows us just as well as the other division rivals do. The two teams that know us the best, in my opinion, are the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is a game on the road, man. It's a tough place for us to play. And being able to showcase this defense the way that we want to showcase this, I don't know if week one against Philadelphia is really going to be that place to do it. to hit a couple of points that I want to get into right now. As far as the play calling, I've seen a lot of people and their opinions on the play calling in this game. I didn't have too much of a problem with the play calling in this game, and I'll tell you why. There were a lot of things that I felt could have made a much bigger difference in the play calling. For one, we could catch the damn football. There are a lot of drop passes in this football game, including Vernon Davis, who had a touchdown for us, a brilliant touchdown. Then the turn back around and be able to snag the ball out of the air, but yet drop it. That's a little frustrating to see. I'm very interested in seeing how it is that we were able to develop this wide receiver core. I think we've got a pretty good core. I think we've got probably the best quarterback behind center that we have had in a very, very long time. I think that our quarterback's ability to see the field and deliver the football is probably some of the best that I've seen. I can't even remember when. I'm very optimistic about this quarterback as long as he's able to stay healthy. I even like him better than the situation that we had last year. To be absolutely honest with you, I just see a lot more optimism from him and the production that he's able to make. So hopefully we're going to be able to keep him healthy. My personal opinion, and one of the things I had said at the beginning of this season, that if you're going to lose a Trent Williams to another team because of the disgruntled situation going on, there's no way I play Dwayne Haskins in his first year. I would sit him on the bench the whole first year. You've got 3 quarterbacks on this roster. I would utilize the first 2 people on that list, and that rookie is sitting. I am not trusting the blind side of this quarterback to an ex-Raider in his 30s playing left tackle. I'm just not doing it. Even though he did really, really well this last game, I was surprised with how well that he did. I don't suspect him to be able to maintain that kind of a performance at left tackle. And to be honest with you, he almost cost us a massive penalty for unnecessary roughness, for those of you that know what I'm talking about. They did not call it on him. They ended up calling on the Philadelphia Eagles for encroachment, which is good. But honestly, the shove at the end of the play, that should have been a penalty. But it's going to be little things like that anyways. He's got an attitude problem. This guy will get out of his car leaving the stadium and fight with fans. This guy's got an attitude problem. I don't think we've seen the last of that attitude problem. He wants to be able to stay small and stay off the radar and stay out of the news. That's what I'm hoping he's able to do, but we will see. So again, go back on play calling. I don't have that much of an issue with the play calling. One of the things that I have an issue with the play calling, though, is I'm getting sick and tired of the running on first down all the time. That needs to stop. I think what we need to do is we really need to take a look at first down. We really have to put an emphasis. I think that there's no excuse as to why a coordinator cannot work with a quarterback and work his mismatches on first down. Take a look at his mismatches, take a look at the coverage, and see that they're stacking the box against you, and utilize those mismatches to your advantage. You can shift your coverage to help you protect. You can shift your protection. You can even shift your coverage. I would like to see him audible out of that situation a little bit more, and I'd like to see him pass. If you're going to pass in the flat, man, let's pass in the flat. Let's pass against those linebackers that are sitting in the box. Let's pass against those safeties that are sitting in the box waiting for Geist to get that football and run up the middle. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see us utilize timing routes that's going to make those linebackers and that secondary guess for the next couple of quarters as to whether we're really going to run on first down or whether we're actually going to pass it. I would like to see a little bit more of that sprinkled in. And frankly, the screen, that's not an option. I don't think the screen is an option for us on first down. So for some reason, they love that screen and they think it's going to fool everybody, and it kind of doesn't. Moving on, I'm very optimistic about the wide receiver position for this team. I was surprised with the performance of the wide receivers that we've had. We definitely have a lot of work to put into that position. I am very optimistic, though. We will see. We got some really, really tough games coming up, but I think that if we use those short, consistent routes and then start picking on the outside and that deep middle, I think we can have some really, really good production. I don't know if you noticed, but our quarterback had just a couple of seconds before he was able to throw that football out. Anywhere from 3.5 to 4 seconds, and that ball was gone. And that's the idea behind a Jay Gruden offense, is to get that football out as quick as possible. There were a couple times where he hung back for a little bit longer on a 5-step drop to be able to deliver that football, and he was able to do it. But I would like to see a little bit more emphasis on that earlier in the game instead of waiting until we were down by a whole truck ton before you start doing that. The running back position, I was shocked by Adrian Peterson getting held back. I thought maybe there was something wrong with AP. Apparently he was fine. Apparently Jay Gruden came out and really made an emphasis that from here on out the future is going to be on this quarterback. I think that was the dumbest statement that our head coach could have ever made. That was just stupid, and it reeks upper management to me. To me, that reeks upper management. I don't understand why somebody coming off the injury that Darius has come off of, why you would want to put such a heavy workload on him. He has spent so much time trying to rehab that leg that you forget that there needs to be an emphasis on the other joints as well. I hear that this is not even the leg that he got injured before. This is his other leg. So this is a completely different injury that he's got, and I can imagine the frustration on his part. But this guy was running into brick walls all day. All day he was running into brick walls, and it's gonna be like that. I don't see this offensive line showing up as run offense for us. This is going to be our run offense. It's going to be a lot of brick walls. It's going to, and we got to start thinking about why would you have a 1,000-yard rusher and not use him? I don't get that. Why would you not share the workload and help preserve that rookie, or not? He's not even a rookie anymore, but that sophomore player that's behind you for the future. I don't get that. I understand why you want to throw this kid to the wolves with 20 and 25 handoffs a football game when you don't necessarily have to. We put a major emphasis on a kid that hasn't proved himself yet, and I would have to agree with Clinton Portis. This kid's got to earn this position. You just don't give it to him, and we do that here in Washington, man. We just give things to you. We don't make you earn a damn thing. So, make this kid earn it. That's what I would do. Thank God AP's back in the role as running back. It sucks that he's in this position that he's in, but this is football. This is the way it is, man. It's next man up when you get issues with injuries. Offensive line. I was actually somewhat impressed by the offensive line. I thought that they would have done worse. We really need to make sure that Brandon Sheriff is the only person that's pulling across center. Waters, I don't know what we've been doing in the offseason, but whoever thought that guy could pull across center on a counter they need to have their head dunked underwater for a very extended period of time. And seriously, we need to rethink about CPR if they're not breathing. That's an idiotic move. You're losing brain cells. I've seen this guy pull twice across center, and I literally jumped out of my chair wanting to bang my face up against a cement wall until I seen blood. And I'm not even the one in charge of this offensive line. That is abysmal. You need to make sure Brandon Sheriff is the one that's pulling across center. He's the only one that is mobile enough to be able to make that play count. And I'm sorry, people in the cheap seats in the 300 level can see that guy, can see our other guard pulling across center. We need to stop doing that. Pass protection was actually fairly decent. I expected us to do a lot worse, but I think this is our run defense. I think this is our running game with this offensive line. I don't think it's going to get much better than that. I'm not really optimistic with some of the positions that we have right now, but I think we did fairly well. We did better than I thought we would. One thing to take into consideration: get used to the penalties. This offensive line is not in sync. This offensive line has a lot of ad hoc pieces in place. This offensive line is not disciplined, and I never expected them to be, especially since their team captain, their team leader, the elder statesman, the stoic Redskin offensive lineman that they've been looking up to keep this line intact is gone. He's not there, and we've placed him with Donald Penn, for Christ's sakes. I don't have a whole lot of expectations, and honestly, this offensive line killed us. Morgan Moses, what's your excuse, buddy? What is going on with you, man? I mean, come on. I understand that in Philadelphia you're not going to get a fair shake, but please don't act like you've never played in Philadelphia before. Please don't act like you haven't talked to these referees before. Please understand and know that you're going to be under scrutiny whenever you are in that I don't know what you call it, that closet of brotherly love and the contradiction in terms that is. You're going to get penalties thrown against you, and you have to be extra judicious about the state of play. You have to be extra cautious of the way in which you're performing in Philadelphia. We had a lot of penalties that killed our drives, man. Killed our drives. And I'm sorry, for those of you that are upset at our defense spent a lot of time on the football field, and that has to count for something. You cannot have your offense go 3 and out on 2 to 3 different occasions and expect the Philadelphia Eagle defense or offense to come out and convert first down after first down and expect awesome performances out of your defensive line and your secondary. It's not going to happen. That's too much time on the football field. And I'm sorry, the whole momentum shift in this game was DeSean Jackson. The first touchdown that he had received in this game, I don't understand how you get out of that play. I don't understand the coverage. Anytime that you have DeSean Jackson on the football field, I don't understand why you are not in constant cover 2. Why are you at a single high safety on a cover 3 or cover 1? That makes no sense, because all they did was streak 2 wide receivers and made our safety make a decision. Who am I going to get my ass kicked by? Am I going to get my ass kicked by the this receiver, or am I going to get my ass kicked by that receiver? Both guys were open. And honestly, the safety, he played it right. He did. He did what he was trained to do, what he was told to do. And the coaching staff on any league, in any team, would tell you, you've got to read the quarterback's eyes, you've got to read the quarterback's body position. So he took that inside streak and left DeSean Jackson open on the outside. There's no other way out of that. If that safety switches to DeSean Jackson, then Carson Wentz throws to the inside guy. You can't cover 2 people deep with 1 safety. You need to be in a cover 2, in all honesty. And frankly, knowing what we know of DeSean Jackson, why are we not bumping and running this guy? Why are we not getting up in his face? He threw a penalty in the first half because of his attitude. I would have used that. Get under this kid's skin, man. Rough that dude up. Rough that dude. Play some bump and run, man. Stick some kidney shots in there. Insult his mother. Do all kinds of stuff. This is Philly. You can say whatever you want in Philly, and nobody's going to chastise you for it. You can say anything you want in Philly, because they say things like this every day in Philly. Anyway, moving on. Defensive line. I did not mind the defensive line play. Even when we ended up losing Jonathan Allen, I didn't mind the offensive line play. We did well with what we had. That Eagle offensive line is actually very, very good. I did not expect too much. There is one thing. Before I get on to the defensive line, I enjoyed the linebacker play in this game. Yes, you can pause that. You can rewind it right now and go back and listen to me say this. I enjoyed the linebacker play. The linebacker play in this game is what I have been bitching about for the last 2 years, is the lack of speed and the lack of commitment and getting to the line of scrimmage and getting to the point of contact and making a play. This is the one thing that our linebackers have lacked the last 2 seasons. I saw that in this game. Our linebackers actually making plays on the ball at the point of contact, at the line of scrimmage. I saw that. And when you saw linebackers going into the backfield making plays, that's because they're watching film and they know when to break on the ball when they see certain things. That's all that is. That's great football play on their part. So I was very optimistic. There were some times clearly when they dropped the ball, but honestly, a lot of people on this defense dropped the ball, so I'm not going to necessarily stick them. Defensive line, I was happy. Montez Sweat, what are you doing? What are you doing? You are far too talented. You are far too gifted physically to be going at this football game half-ass on me. I don't understand what you're doing. I watched a lot of Montez Sweat in this football game, and I'm seeing a lot of half-ass, half-speed, run into Justin Peters and just die. There was some pursuits across the football field that were fine. Some of those plays were great. I need a lot. If you're going to consistently insist on being this nice on the defensive front, then I really need you to come out on that football field with a bouquet of flowers and just give it to the left tackle, because you're a nice guy. I need you to fill out a card and wish him the best and tell him that you support him and tell him that you love him and pat him on the ass and pat him on the head and be a super nice guy about it, because that's exactly what you were in this game. You were super, super nice. And for some reason, I don't know why that's okay, but it's not. It's not okay. You are a goddamn monster. You are a beast. You are a son of a bitch. I need a lot more violence out of you. I need a lot more speed out of you. Those are the two things that I'm going to say about you. I need two things from you: violence, and I need speed. Your hand technique sucked in this game. It sucked. Your speed sucked. The minute you got to Peters, you just stopped. You stopped pedaling your feet, you stopped moving your motor, and I'm sorry, but that old man that's sitting across from you, number 91, Ryan Kerrigan, made you look like a fool out there. That guy was getting into the backfield, even though he had an offensive lineman in his face. He was getting a lot more penetration of that backfield than you. I need you to work on your technique. I need you to move those feet, and I need you to explode, man. I need you a lot more violent than what you are. This is not a nice game. We are not selling flowers. We are not selling gift cards. We are not selling shopping carts. We are not selling hearts for Valentine's Day. This is a football team. I need you to play football. I need you to be a lot more violent. I need you to whoop somebody's ass out there. You're not going to get there every single play, but there are plays you're going to get there. You're going to need to use your skill and your technique to get to that quarterback, because that's what we pay you to do. I don't need another Brian Orakpo. Screw that guy. I need somebody who's going to show up and perform against division rivals, because that's what we bring you here to do. We need you to show up against teams like Philadelphia. We need you to show up against teams like Dallas and then New York. Those are the three teams I'm really, really looking for performance out of you for the rest of your career here. So you better show up, man. I don't need you showing up against the LA or the Oakland Raiders. I don't need you showing up against the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't need you showing up against the Miami Dolphins. These are bottom feeders. I can find plenty of people for a lot cheaper to do that role. But Montez Sweat coming in here as a rookie with as high as we took you, I need a lot more violence from you. I need a lot more technique from you. I need a lot more ambition. I don't need you playing patty cake with left tackles. I don't need that. I can find plenty of people in the 200 and the 300 level to do that. But that's the only major gripe that I have. So hopefully coming up this weekend, I'm going to see a lot more ambition out of Montez Sweat coming out of that stance and getting to that quarterback. I need you there within 4 seconds. Josh Norman, I don't know what to say to you. You looked old. You looked really, really old. You looked washed up. You looked old. You didn't even look like you really, really wanted it. You are no longer the threat that you thought that you were when you first came here, the threat that you thought that you were when you were in Carolina. Those days have passed. I don't think there's a quarterback in this league that's watching game film that's not going to be willing to test you. And if that is going to be the case, then you really, really need to be worried, because we're paying you a crap ton of money to do something that you're failing at doing. And frankly, I don't need you to show up 2 and 3 games a season. I need you to show up all the damn time. You got your ass burnt, you got your ass took, you got your ass ran over, and frankly, it's getting to the point where we're taking a look at the performance on the field, and we're taking a look at that paycheck stub that we're giving you and how much against the cap you're counting, and it hurts, man. It's painful. It's painful. They say there's no real way to prepare for a kick in the balls. You, my friend, are weekly kicking the balls, and it's really getting tiresome. Frankly, it's painful. That's going to do it for me, guys. I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet, and hopefully I'll be able to bring out some more videos here. I plan on doing this every week, again, assuming that I've got the time frame to be able to do it in. There's going to be times where I'm going to be super, super busy, so maybe I'll get one out late. Maybe I might not even be able to get one out. I'm not sure. But we'll see how it is. It's been good to see every single one of you guys to show up on my channel and show me support. I appreciate it. I am not going to be a YouTube drone. I don't give a damn about likes. I don't give a damn about subscriptions, and you're not going to see me troll all of you individuals looking for subscriptions and views and shares. I don't care about that. I don't get paid to do this. YouTube can keep their damn money. Google can kiss my ass. I don't care about any of that stuff. I have an opinion, I have an analysis, and I think it has a place here on YouTube, and that's the only kind of support that I want, man. Keep your money. Just watch the video and be on your way. So we'll see you guys later. Remember, for us fans of the Twin Feather, we ride together. Redskins for life. Peace out. We'll see you later.